Welcome to the Ignite Podcast, the only healthcare marketing podcast that digs into the digital strategies and tactics that help you accelerate growth. Each week, Cardinal's experts explore innovative ways to build your digital presence and attract more patients. Buckle up for another episode of Ignite.
Welcome everybody to Ignite. Excited to have you all listening. This is going to be the relaunch version of our podcast, all things healthcare marketing still. However, we are going to now be doing interviews with our experts, the flockers here at Cardinal that lead their departments. I'm really excited to have you guys listening. Every week, you can count on an episode being released, 7 to 10 minutes, quick hits, not just high-level stuff, but actual tactical ideas you can take back to your healthcare org and implement immediately and help you find more patients and help them get the care that they need. So this is going to be a great blend. It's going to be interviews from the experts that are in the trenches, actually working with our groups from 2 to 250 locations, and they're going to give you really tactical advice. So I'm really excited about that. Staying high level, really excited about where things are going. I'm going to date this. February 25th, 2021. I think COVID is going to be ending soon. That's my prognostication. Vaccines are working well, and I'm not going to let CNN or Fox News tell me that's not going to work against variants. I'm optimistic. This thing's going to come out. How does that affect you? It matters. It matters. It matters for how people are going to want to book appointments, how they're going to want to get care. A lot is going to change this year. So it's going to be really important that all of us healthcare marketers stick around. We still get inquiries all of the time from provider groups that were so used to getting provider referrals to grow their business that they have not done the leap to market online to find patients. But there was a survey that was just announced from Kairos that said 28% of people, when they are trying to find a specialist, do their own research, 28%. So that's nearly 70% that are going to go through either the insurance or a PCP, but there's almost 30%. A third of the patients out there are going to go online and do their own research. If you are not present, you're going to miss out on those orthopedic surgeries, on those orthodontic surgeries, on those cardio client patients. You're going to miss out on all of that if you're not present online. Now, very important to be online marketing directly to patients. No shame in the game. Doesn't mean you shouldn't also have your liaisons and you shouldn't be marketing to all the providers for referrals. However, going direct to consumer, very important, and will continue that way as COVID just exponentially shrunk the timeline to get provider groups online. Everybody's online. Your out of home's not working as well. Your direct mail's not working as well. And I know that because we just got our state of healthcare marketing survey returned to us, and it said all of those things directly from you all, great and smart healthcare marketers. Those things are not working as well. And you are investing more in digital marketing this year than you ever had. And I love that. And that's music to our ears. And we're happy. And we've been saying that, Rich, for 12 years now, that they should all be marketing online. Now they're listening. Now everybody's listening more. Isn't that crazy?
Sometimes it just takes a minute.
Yeah, well, now the minute has become 10 seconds. We all got to get online and start marketing. Okay, let's get into it. Rich, oh boy. Rich is our SVP of strategy, analytics, performance marketing, creative. This is a beautiful mind he's got in there. It's creative and analytical. He's the only one in the world like him. And no, you can't have him. Rich, what's marketing's role in ensuring patients receive an exemplary patient experience? If they're trying to take their campaigns to the next level, what do you suggest? Where do they start?
Wow, thanks for throwing me an easy one for 500, Alex.
Right, jackpot.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen drive success, and I'm going to kind of shamelessly plug my own department here, is the most effective thing that you can do is really make it easy for the patient all the way through the process, right? So if you go back to that stat of how many people are doing research now, especially in the low acuity space, to find a provider, it's not just enough to be visible. You also have to make, once you drive that person to your experience, you have to make it easy for the patient to understand why they should pick you, right? Most of these patients who are coming to your website or to your landing pages, they are solution aware. They understand that they need, this type of specialist, this type of provider. So you've really got to stand out and help them understand why they would pick you as a provider versus, the competition in the space. And so really hitting home on what those value props are, whether it's convenience, location, insurance coverage, best in class. You've got to make sure that you're conveying that at all parts. And then once you've actually got them to convert, either calling you or submitting a form or scheduling an appointment online, just making sure that you're actively nurturing them to the appointment, so that you're also improving your lead to appointment ratios as well. So
you're finding drop off in our clients there, that the appointments are being booked and then they're not showing, or what?
Yeah, and it's just an area that is generally ignored by a lot of providers. So
happy to get the lead, then don't do enough to make them show up.
Correct.
What should they do to make them show up? What marketing tactics?
I think a lot of it is having a solid thank you page once the lead is submitted. If it's a scheduled appointment online, explaining to the patient what's going to happen next, what the process is. And then beyond that, regular text and email communication, essentially drip feeding that to them through a cadence to make sure that they're ready for the appointment, they know what to expect, but also just reinforcing why they've made the right decision.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. I got it. And helping them show up. We hear that a lot because we're doing call tracking. We hear this in the call recordings. Hey, your calls are going to voicemail. You're not even getting the lead. Oh, you got the lead and no one's actually booking the appointment right there and right then with them. So you're seeing all that happen. We've got great CRO sessions that are going to be going on with Rich. And this is kind of next level marketing stuff. I know a lot of y'all aren't there yet, but Rich gives great tips on our CRO discussions about how to make sure that your paid media campaigns and your SEO for that matter are driving more patients out of the same dollar. CRO, you're going to hear about it a lot this year. That's where marketers are going. Better creative drives better performance. All right. Thanks, Rich. Lauren, what's up? Okay. So patients are demanding easier, more convenient access. Okay. What do healthcare organizations need to do to give patients what they want? How do you make it easy to get care?
Yeah, you mentioned the stat earlier about the portion of patients that are going straight to the internet to find a provider. Let's not forget that the other percentage who are being referred are still going to validate that referral from a friend, a family member, a provider. They're going to make sure that that is a valid choice.
Okay.
And so regardless of how they're finding you, I think in order to make it easy for the patient, consider how are you allowing the patient to engage with you, and make sure that you have all of the options. I think too often healthcare organizations are restricting their patient base by saying, I only take phone calls, or I only have an online scheduling system. I don't want anyone to call me. Think operationally about how you can make it easier for the patient. That goes hand in hand with what Rich said. Make it easy for them to show up for their appointment, but make it easy for them to book one too. So typically what I'm recommending to the prospective clients that I'm meeting with on a daily basis is to find a way to make intake easier on the patient.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. You've got a newer healthcare group that has learned, I've got to go online to find patients. Not enough are coming through referrals. Top 3 marketing choices. Nobody else get offended on this call, please. Lauren, top 3. What's the first thing a provider group needs to do?
You talking tactics, Alex?
Tactics. Give me the top 3.
Yeah, I'm always challenging my clients who are interested in paid media to just ensure that they have a good foundation with their SEO program.
John loves it. Okay. What's next? Yep.
Yeah. Technically, is your site really solid? Can Google find it? But if that's the long game, then what is the short game? How are we going to drive patients today, tomorrow, next week, next month? That is paid search, bottom of the funnel. Who is already there raising their hand that you can capture at the lowest possible cost per lead? And then think about when I've tapped out, totally maxed out those sources, I then need to go create interest. I have to generate my own pool, and I would move to social media for that. I would be branding my practice, my group, and I would be feeding those leads down to my SEO and my paid search programs.
I love it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Landon, we got to get to you next. This is fighting words that we're hearing. Third. Oh my gosh, third. Everybody, that was Lauren. She's our SVP of Client Services. She's been in the game nearly a decade and Cardinal almost the entire time. I don't let her out to find out what else is out there because she's our special unicorn. Landon, what's up? Fighting words. Okay, number 3 is, do you agree with that? A small provider group new to digital. Should paid social be the third? When does it make sense and how does it help?
Yeah, I mean, I think paid social plays a lot of roles in getting patients into the specific locations. I think that obviously your paid search is going to capitalize on your lowest hanging fruit, and that's always going to be consistent. But really what you can use paid social to do is to provide incremental customers that are not ready to convert right away. So you're really allowing paid social as an avenue to gain awareness for your brand and for your company. And really in healthcare, it's important for the consumers to know and like your brand before they can trust your brand. So when you build a funnel, you really want to make sure that you're hitting people that want to know you with your awareness campaigns, and that you can push COVID messaging. You can say how you're really relating in COVID and how that impacts your day-to-day. Your like messaging, so that's your traffic campaigns, driving traffic to the website. And then ultimately, once you have that bottom funnel user, you can convert them on social within your trust campaigns. And that's your conversion focused campaigns, really going after that bottom funnel and just tackling on some of those users that may not be ready to convert right away. But if you have them in your social funnel from your awareness, from your like campaigns, you're really able to get a really great CPA from social after already building out that funnel. So that's really where social plays in a big impact in healthcare marketing.
I've seen it. Landon's goal in life is to drive a better CPA than search. That's the first thing he told me before he came on Cardinal. I said, challenge accepted. Rich is going to be coming after you. But Landon's accomplished it. Some of our biggest behavioral clients, orthodontic, dental, better CPA than search. When does it make sense? Because a small provider group may hear that and say, okay, I'm going in social. Let's do that before search. How have you been able to do that? Do you need that kind of scale for the algorithm to learn? And like, what's the key there? Because those are some
scale definitely plays a point in it. And it's really about how much money you have to really build out that funnel and nurture your consumers. Because really what you're going to find is that lowest CPA is going to come when you have awareness campaigns, when you have traffic campaigns, and then you look at the strategies that work there and then find that the highest converting user to target in your direct response campaigns. So really what you want to do is that if you have incremental money, paid social is a great tactic at going in and getting some more incremental customers that you wouldn't find in paid search. And really the CPA comparably to paid search is going to come whenever you have that full funnel system in place, where you're actively finding new users that are just ready or not ready to convert right away, but you're really informing them of your offerings, really getting them to buy into your brand, and then targeting them when they're ready to convert right away. So it's definitely a tactic that plays well with search, and it's about scaling outside of search. So it's about finding incremental customers that you weren't already going to convert and persuading them to convert on social.
Yeah, new revenue stream, basically, because you're going to find people that weren't quite there. I love it, Landon. It has turned out you have accomplished the mission in many cases, and we're thankful for it, and our clients love it. And we're still learning how exactly social plays in, but it definitely does. My more advanced groups, your SEO and your search going really well. Social can be great, especially when you have someone like Landon that's running it. Thank you, Landon. John, Lauren gave you number 1, SEO. Oh my gosh, a man after my own heart. I love it. What's the biggest change happening in SEO everybody needs to know about? What's going to be going down this year?
So the biggest change is that if you look back, everyone has access to keyword research. So everyone's creating basically the same amount of content, same types of content, answering the same question.
Yeah.
Whereas the change is where we're seeing success is focusing on more user-focused content with more unique topics. So we're doing deeper research beyond the general keyword research. We cover our bases, but beyond that, we do other tactics to find what patients are really looking for and creating content for that. So so a keyword research may say there's maybe 50 searches per month, yet we're getting thousands of sessions per month for new content that we're creating that's more user focused.
I got you. Do we use tools for that? I had a webinar yesterday and I said Screaming Frog, SEMrush, and just going and looking at competitor sites to see what they're writing.
So here's a freebie for them, for our audience. Screaming Frog and all that, that's all for technical, but for content and trying to find what people are looking for, something that's beyond keyword research.
Yeah.
Also asked.com.
Also ask?
asked, as in ED, as in past tense.
Okay.
And so,
okay.
So looking at that, you can see it takes content directly from the people also ask API, and you can see the natural journey of where people are searching. So if they search for this question, the next logical question would be these two questions. Now, if they search for this other question, the next logical step would be these questions. And you can actually map out a patient journey that way and find out some unique questions that you wouldn't find in your typical keyword research.
I love it. I love it. And then we write about it. We throw into the FAQ and the schema on the location and service pages, all that fun stuff. Also asked, I said Uber suggest on the webinar, and then I said, I don't know if we actually use that.
Nope.
Yep. Got it. That's good. So finding and writing about relevant stuff, going to be hugely important. I know we're going to talk about moving from keyword to content specific SEO. That's going to be a big thing. Is there anything happening in July everybody needs to know about? No, obviously I just gave it away.
Are you talking about in May in Core Web Vitals?
Oh, got it wrong again, guys. Got it wrong again. I have the date wrong again. Big surprise there. What's happening in May?
So Google is shifting to another way of looking at, we all know about page speed and how fast your site loads is important, because Google knows that users will bounce with a poor loading and poor performing site. Google stepped it up a bit. There's 3 new metrics to pay attention to, and you can use their same page speed insight tool, or Lighthouse is what it's also called, to measure your site's performance. And if you don't meet the criteria of, it's a scale of 0 to 100. If you don't meet 90 to 100, you're not going to get the ranking boost. It's not going to be a penalty, but for like the 5% of websites, maybe even 1% of websites out there that actually meet that goal, you're going to get a ranking boost.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Make sure all your websites are optimized, not only for mobile speed, but experience too. Long dwell time, short bounce times. Be measuring all that kind of fun stuff, guys. Google certainly is. Thank you, guys. That was fun. You just heard from Rich, SVP of Performance Marketing, Landon, Director of Paid Social, Lauren, SVP of Client Services, John, Director of SEO. These are the people that are going to be joining me on Ignite, and maybe I'll bring some new vloggers, some different ones every now and then, and give you different perspectives on analytics and creative and all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to have lots of guest tours, and you can find them all on LinkedIn, I suppose. I prefer you go to Cardinal and submit an inquiry there, and I'll connect you with them there. But anyways, thank you all for joining us on Ignite, and I look forward to the upcoming conversations.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Ignite. Interested in keeping up with the latest trends in healthcare marketing? Subscribe to our podcast and leave a rating and review. For more healthcare marketing tips, visit our blog at cardinaldigitalmarketing.com.